I think it was around 1989 when we saw the first Explorer come out. It really made SUVs mainstream. Before then, SUVs were kind of a niche product. They were pretty much just pickup trucks with a cover on the back and extra seats. Not the case with the Explorer. The Explorer brought a family-friendly mainstream SUV with luxury and creature comforts, almost like you'd find in a sedan. 2025, the Explorer is still going strong, and it had a little nip tuck with a restyled grille, restyled headlights, and restyled taillights for the 2025 model year. They also slimmed down the model, so there's not quite as much confusion with all the different grades of the Explorer. This is a platinum version. This is one of the range topping trim levels. You have the Performance ST sitting at the top of the grade walk, but this is right up there with one of the most loaded, most opulent, most luxurious versions of the Explorer you can get. All Explorers come standard with a Class 3 tow package. When properly equipped, you can tow up to 5,000 pounds. You get great features like trailer sway control. Also, for the first time in 2025, the Blue Cruise hands-free driver's assistance feature is now available on the Explorer. Driving hands-free is really nice. I do it quite often, and it'll be an absolute godsend, especially if you drive in stop-and-go traffic on the highway. You don't know how much of a weight it will take off your shoulders. This thing is blinged out with a platinum package. It is looking beautiful. Nice wheel and tire package with contrasting colors. All Explorers except the ST come standard with this 2.3 liter 4-cylinder engine pumping out 300 horsepower. Great engine. We can also find that engine in the Bronco and the EcoBoost Mustang. On some of the higher trims like this Platinum, you can also get a larger V6. And of course the ST, the performance model, comes standard with a V6 engine. The 4-cylinder, if you're not an all-out speed demon, is plenty powerful, pumping out 300 horsepower, enough to rocket this to 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds. So the first Explorer that came out in 1989 was built on truck-based, rugged body and frame architecture, kind of like these trucks over here. But the thing with body and frame architecture, it has more of a truckish, bumpy ride. It's heavier, not as fuel efficient. Not too long ago, Ford kind of rethought the Explorer, and they turned it into a car-based crossover, kind of like we find with the smaller Escape. It's not built on rugged truck-based body and frame architecture. It's built more like a car with unibody architecture, which makes it lighter, gives it more car-like handling, performance and braking and acceleration. Most people aren't going to tow heavy loads of the Explorer. They're not going to go. They're not going to do technical off-roading. We actually have a Tremor version of the Explorer coming out in 2025. Rumor has it, which will have a little bit more off-road prowess than most of the Explorers. But most of these vehicles are designed to be pavement dwellers. They can handle light off-roading, you know, dirt, gravel, sand, things like that, light situations. You're not gonna go rock crawling in it. This thing is built for growing families, and it's perfect for it with third row seating. It's great. When you have a couple of kids and then they have friends and you have to pick people up at soccer practice and stuff, third seats come in handy, and then when you're not using them, you can fold them down for more space. This one has a nice second row captain's chairs, beautiful, high quality leather. I love the kind of like the quilted design, very nice. We have heated second row seats, rear climate control, lovely wood trim and leather throughout the interior. Nice driver-centric interior, leather up steering wheel, completely digital gauge cluster. Then we have a huge infotainment screen powered by the latest infotainment software of Ford. They use Google's new automotive operating system to power the infotainment system, which works awesome. You know, the car companies are great at the mechanical bits, not so much as the technology. They're not tech companies, so who better than a big company like Google to have amazing infotainment, a good process, amazing infotainment system. Obviously, it's going to go great with Google Maps since they make some of the best maps in the world for the navigation system. You can also add apps and stuff like that as well. You have Google Maps, Play Store. You can even watch YouTube, play games. Obviously, some of the stuff like YouTube you can't do while you're driving. This one is a big pano roof to allow lots of natural light inside. Beautiful pointed leather interior in the front. We have this nice quilted pattern on the seats, the platinum insignia right there. Lovely synthetic leather and wood trim on the dashboard, nice cloth speaker covers. This is a great sounding B&O audio system. We have a wireless charging pad, 10-speed automatic transmission to help with performance and efficiency. Then we have a drive mode selector here. So you can, the drive mode selector will tailor the vehicle's transmission, stability control, all-wheel drive system, throttle sensitivity for different driving situations. So we have a tow haul, and sometimes, depending on which drive mode you have selected, the gauge cluster might change the way it looks. So we have tow haul, we have sport for spirited on-road driving. We have eco for efficient driving, of course. We have balanced everyday driving. We have slippery for wet, icy, snowy roads. And then we have off-road for rough, uneven, mixed terrain. So obviously you're not going to go, on the Rubicon Trail in this Explorer, but like I said, beat up dirt, gravel roads are no issue at all for this Explorer. Well, thanks for joining us in this walk-around video of this 2025 Explorer Platinum, a fantastic product. Our owner, Scarff himself, he drives one of these as a demo, and he can drive anything he wants, but he picks the Explorer. And talking about Scarff Ford's 103 years old, not our owner. His grandfather, the original Scarff, opened this dealership 103 years ago. It's been in the family ever since. We serve the greater Seattle Tacoma area, located in Auburn, Washington. We sell new Fords, new Isuzus, and a very wide variety of pre-owned vehicles. If you enjoy this content and are watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.